Hey, what's up, guys? Kyle going back from the video, and today I'm going to do my AFC and NFC Championship predictions there. So, let's go on to the games there. So, last week there, I went 3-1 overall, 178, 74, and 1. And let's get on to the picks there. So we'll start off with so we have Sunday, January 25th. This is the AFC Championship Game. We got a 1 o'clock game, Mountain Time, Prime Time, CBS and Paramount Plus. We have the New England Patriots, or we have the 2 seed New England Patriots at the 1 seed, my Denver Broncos. So, this is going to be a pretty interesting match here. Technically for the Broncos there, I think mostly we did lose our quarterback there. We did lose Bo Nix there for the rest of the year. The Broncos actually are going to start with, mostly we are going to possibly going to start with Jarrett Stidham there. Stidham is actually going to play in this game there. But we do actually get some key players back. We do get KJ Dobbins there. Dobbins is officially coming back there. He actually started his 2-day window, I think, on Monday there. So he might be possibly back in this game there. We don't 100% know if he will be back in this game, but a lot of rumors are saying he will be back in this game there. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting there. We actually did pretty well against Buffalo last week and mostly kept them up last week there. Technically, our defense there didn't really stop James Cook there, but I think the Broncos defense is going to get much better this week there. Plus, last week there, Vance Joseph there had those interviews. He had those interviews there. It did a little bit affect him. He had 5 interviews or something like that. So the defense, he doesn't have to do interviews this week, so it will not really affect him this week there. Going into this game there, going against the New England Patriots there. We actually seen the Broncos we actually seen what we can actually fully need to do in this game here. And possibly execute it there. Stidham there, this is his first start there, so this is going to be an interesting fight here. Defense has to really need to step up here in this game, and I think we can possibly going to do it. The defense actually needs to step up there and possibly win this in the trenches there for it. For the Patriots there, they've been massively struggling against Houston there. Drake May didn't actually had a great game last week there. He had a lot of issues with fumbling the football there, and mostly if you actually have a guy there who's mostly can't carry the rock there, mostly what my Broncos did last week. There. We actually intercept the ball there. We actually pressured Josh Allen there and actually made him get those mistakes there. But and then also with the Patriots there, they've been having massive mistakes against Houston. They did have massive mistakes against Houston. They went 1 for, most of the Patriots went 1 for fucking 12 last week there on 3rd down conversions there. That was pretty bad there. The only reason why I think the Patriots should have technically lost that game against the Texans there because their defense was just holding them fucking straight out. Their defense was holding Drake May straight fucking out there. And mostly going against the Broncos there, who honestly has a much better defense than the Texans do, we might see a totally different move and a totally different deciding in this game. So we will see what actually happens in this matchup here. But I'm going to go with my Broncos here to win it. I think my Broncos actually have a little bit more advantage here over the Patriots. The Patriots there are kind of a little bit struggling there. They kind of squeak out some games there. Really squeak out the last 2 games there against the Chargers and against the Texans there. They barely squeaked them out. And they were at home last week. So this week they're going into a hostile environment in Denver, Colorado, where the fans are really, really heavily there. This is mostly possibly might be the Patriots' test there. It might be the test there going into this week. I think this might be a big test for them. Even if we don't have Bo Nix, I think it still might be a test for the Patriots in this game. So I'm going to go with my Broncos here to win over the Patriots. So that's it for the AFC Championship game. So let's move on to the NFC Championship game. We got a 4:30 game, Mountain Time, Primetime Fox. We got the 5th seed, LA Rams, at the number 1 seed, Seattle Seahawks. This one's going to be an interesting fight here. The Rams there, they looked really, really outstanding there and stuff. They kind of was not doing the best against, mostly putting up a really slow game against the Bears last week there. I don't know if it was the weather mostly affecting them there, and they're mostly just didn't really look prepared there at all. The Rams there actually have been struggling there. Mostly, they actually had some issues there with the injuries there. Also, like with the Devontae Adams, he kind of struggled last week there and stuff. But Puka Nacua there, who honestly looks really, really tough as a receiver there. And I think the Seahawks here might be a little bit pushing there and stuff like that. This is going to be a divisional match here, a divisional game type of match here. Sam Darnold, he might actually try to find some targets there and stuff, but Seattle there, they actually have a really strong line there and stuff like that. But going against this Rams team, who honestly looks really strong there, and mostly was keeping up with the Panthers in the wild card match there, and also they beat really the Bears with a really slow start there, mostly a really slow game there. Mostly going against the Seahawks team there, who fucking just kicked ass on the 49ers. They really kicked ass on the 49ers. Niners didn't have nothing to go against the Seahawks there. I don't know if this is going to be the same result there. This game's going to be possibly going to be the same result, like an ass kicking there, like they did last week. But I'm going to say the Seahawks win it. I think the Seahawks actually have a better chance to beat the Rams there versus the Rams there. The Rams did kind of struggle against the Bears. They kind of really struggled against the Bears. So I'm going to say the Seahawks here win it over the Rams. So the teams I have advancing to the Super Bowl, I have my Broncos advancing to the Super Bowl, and I have the Seahawks advancing to the Super Bowl. So, yep. And I think it might be Broncos Seahawks. A repeat of Super Bowl 48. So, yep. Comment, rate, merch, sponsors, Stu's Bros. We like Bros. Please subscribe for the bone catch from Super Bowl live streams. Comment, sponsors, Stu's Bros. .com. Add a piece.